Mhm. Hello and welcome to our LumiVitae Discovery Call. My name is Stephanie Dawn, and I am so excited to have you join us today. Welcome to 2025 and all that a new year can bring us. I'm here today to share with you a little bit of my story, and I'm going to be introducing you to someone very special to me. And we're going to be talking about
A
this.
big freezer that you're
Oh,
literally scooping out of, maybe
hey, please
something.
turn. Oh my gosh, I can't see them. Thanks for muting. Um, yeah, I'll be sharing a little bit of my story with you today, and I'll be talking with you as well about this incredible business that I began a year ago that's really helping me get out of this experience that I've been in, which let's just call it the cancer chapter, shall we? So, for those of you who know me, you follow me on Facebook and beyond. I've been dealing with cancer since 2019. I received a breast cancer diagnosis at that time in the spring of 2019. And throughout the COVID years, I thought that I had managed it naturally, but it came back with full force in the spring of 2023 and had progressed to stage 4. So this was really a bummer, but it was also what I needed to understand what had been going on in my body because I'd been in pain for months and I didn't know that it had progressed to my bones. And so I still wanted to be the natural girl because if you know me, you know that I am all about the alternative, naturopathic, homeopathic world when it comes to health and healing. So I went to Scottsdale, Arizona, where my special guest is from. And I went and did a whole bunch of IVs. And while I was there, I was doing molecular hydrogen IVs and I was drinking molecular hydrogen water. And that began my introduction to molecular hydrogen. When I got back to Bainbridge Island, Washington, which is where I am now, a dear friend and colleague of mine was sharing about this device that I thought was my device, but it wasn't. It was much more special. And so I began drinking LumiVitae's hydrogen water immediately as soon as I could get my hands on a bottle. And I drank it steadily through 2024. During that time, I also was experiencing metronomic low dose chemotherapy, which is about a third of standard chemo. And everyone asked me, Steph, did you drink the molecular hydrogen while you were doing chemo? And I was like, yes, I did. I drank the hydrogen water every single day, multiple times a day. And to this day, my scans are clear. I have effectively healed stage 4 cancer in my body. And there is some question, a little bit of question about my eye. So we're going to be doing a PET scan in the next few weeks here. But all my scans have been clear since May of last year. And I can't even tell you how amazing I feel. I am so grateful to have gone down this path and been on this journey of, recovering my health, really. I'm here sitting up. I'm not even leaning into the pillows like I used to because I have strength in my back again, which is saying so much. This time last year, I was bedridden and on oxycodone. And I credit this little device here with the foundation, really. Water is so foundational, right? Of my recovery. And so that's why I'm here is to share the good news about molecular hydrogen and healing, molecular hydrogen and cancer, and the fact that this is a brand new company. It's really just launching into the United States this year and around the world. So that's why we're here. We're going to get a little bit into the science, but we're going to be sharing a lot more about the business opportunity in this presentation. And that's what I'm really excited about because I want to travel all over the world and go see you all. That's my plan. It's like God has granted me this opportunity to maintain my life on this planet, and I'm going to use it traveling and helping people to heal. So without further ado, I want to introduce a woman that I've known for over 8 years. She is an incredible businesswoman. She's a mom, which truly rates with me because I'm a mom too of two boys, just like she is. And she, was living in the corporate world and uh, was missing out on being a mom, which I think, many of us can relate to when we're having to be away from our kids while and work. So I love this business model. I love what it afforded me, and I love what it has afforded Cindi. She's very successful in the network marketing sphere. She travels around the United States, as maybe around the world eventually, Cindi, as a leader in the network marketing field, inspiring folks. What I love about Cindi is she loves to have fun and make money. This is crucial for me. And I'm so grateful that I get to do life with you and do business with you, Cindi, with LumiVitae. So thank you for being here today. Let's dive in.
My pleasure. Every time you tell your story, it's like literally you could tell me your story every day and I'd be like, tell it again tomorrow, tell it again. Because it's incredible, right? Like it's literally so absolutely amazing. And you nailed it. I like to make money and I like to have fun. So, I like to be present, and that's what I love so much about network marketing. And we could have another whole call on why I love network marketing and why I love creating leaders of leaders and like what that looks like. We could have a whole call on Stephanie's journey, another whole call on why this industry is amazing. We could just talk to each other every day, like all of you guys every day. Let's just talk. But for today, I'm going to go over what Stephanie was sharing with Lumi and just kind of a little bit about the device and also the business. So give me a second to do a screen share for you guys. And Stephanie, I will put you in charge of yelling at me if I don't do the share where you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
All
And I
right.
just want to say a shout out to some of the people that I see have joined while I was doing my chat. I want to welcome Monica from France. I'm so excited that you're here, Monica. Woohoo!
Woohoo.
Yeah, and we've got another friend of mine from Greece who's here, and I'm just really excited to be bringing in my Facebook friends that I'm excited to meet in person one day soon. Okay, here we go, Cindi, go for it.
Okay, awesome. Is it full screen now for you too? Yeah. Okay, sweet. All right. So, well, there we go. Let's see if I can click to the next screen while I have full screen, since I have no buttons. There we go. Ooh, famous technology. Okay. So we're on a mission to light up the world, creating a future where technology and wellness evolve together, guided by the universal principles of nature. As the first element formed in the universe, hydrogen is not just the essence of stars, but also the genesis of all life, the primordial substance from which all living beings emerge. So the founder and CEO of our company, LumiVitae, is Taryn Lee. She's a seven-figure entrepreneur that has built companies in the field, similar to what myself and Stephanie are doing. And she created a business for herself, literally going from 0 to 7 figures within a year by following some of the systems that Stephanie and I are going to present to you and teach you that are available here with Lumi as we launch this company. We've already started, but we haven't really started at the level of where we're going to go. So it's a pretty exciting time. So this is the science. This is Nuno Nina. He was the founder and inventor of our actual device. So all of his genius comes from Portugal, where he used this device in his clinic for many, many years before I should say, used a similar device that he'd created for his clinic, created this new for our company. When we launched this particular device that you're seeing him hold in this picture here. So a little bit about molecular hydrogen, for those of you that may or may not know some of the benefits: anti-allergic, anti-inflammatory, anti-cellular death, anti-aging, supports the immune system, increases the cellular metabolism, improves the redox status of the cell, reduces muscle fatigue, anti-diabetic, cognitive function, protects the DNA and the RNA, protects from radiation, protects mitochondria, increases mitochondria biogenesis. Now you're probably thinking like, wow, it's doing everything. That's because hydrogen is the smallest molecule in the world, the original molecule, and it literally does go into the body and go to whatever the body is in need of. And so what it might be in need of for me might be different from what it's in need of from Stephanie or from yourself. In every given moment, what our bodies need is always different. And so molecular hydrogen has a unique intelligence and way of actually allowing the body to self-repair and do what it is that the body needs. So some of the main benefits that you will see and hear a lot about are the antioxidant-like properties, the anti-inflammatory effects, the hydration and cellular health, the mitochondrial support, and the protection against neurodegeneration. So there have been a lot of studies done with molecular hydrogen. You are going to see things that come up a lot in the brain space. That is because their studies are showing that it can actually prevent a lot of the degeneration of our brains by getting the molecular hydrogen in there. So hydration, this is something I talk about all the time, but what I learned about hydration and what I learned about molecular hydrogen that sort of got me on this journey was that when you think about all of the things that can go wrong in the body, right? We have very, very unique bodies with a zillion different things going on at all times for our bodies to function optimally. And when something is wrong and something is off, we get sick, we get ill. And when you think about what is the one thing that is part of all illness, all sickness, all disease, well, it's inflammation. And if you didn't know this, this is what I thought was completely fascinating. The number one cause of inflammation is actually dehydration. And so when you put that together and you think, well, holy cow, it's like, why, how did I not know that? They didn't teach me that in school. Like they don't teach us most of what we need to know in school, of course. We have to go and learn for ourselves how to be the best self-advocates, how to biohack our own bodies, and how to do all the things. We then learn, oh, wow, molecular hydrogen has this unique way of hydrating our body on a cellular level. Wow. Well, imagine if we could prevent all of the bad things and only facilitate the good things in our body by keeping our cells hydrated all the time. And so when you see something like number 3 on the screen and you see hydration and cellular health, we're talking about actually hydrating our body on a cellular level, as opposed to maybe just drinking some water and not knowing if that's going in one end and out the other, and it's actually being absorbed and doing what the body needs. Because just because we are drinking water, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're walking around with a hydrated body. So molecular hydrogen turns water into a powerful wellness tool, combating dehydration, and it also combating oxidative stress simultaneously. That sounds like a winner. So with this, we are launching Liquid Light, and that is the device you see in the picture here, and the device that Stephanie, as well as myself and many others have been drinking, and it's fusing the molecular hydrogen and frequencies into the water, creating ancient water. So why LumiVitae? So this is going to get where, a little more on the technical side, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I want to give you guys an overview today and then allow time for questions and answers that you may have. So there will be space for that after I go through these slides. So why LumiVitae? Well, we have a couple things that are very unique to us. So the lid of the device is actually a frequency device. The lid has 3 frequencies: the LumiVitae frequency, an energy frequency, and a recovery frequency. And energy does what it sounds like it does, recovery as well. And LumiVitae is similar to the light of the sun. And you can run all 3 of those, not at the same time. You can choose one, and you can actually imprint your water with that frequency. It's got a hydrogen-rich 3-phase formula. It's got chromotherapy featuring 7 colors. That is only for the eye, but it is really beautiful, and it helps to change your mood, have the color that you're wanting, and have beautiful bubbles. When I first saw it, I was like, I have my very own lava lamp. But it's so beautiful, and it's got a special designed PEM and plate membrane, and this is extremely important. And this is when we're talking about the base now. The base is where the molecular hydrogen is actually produced. And so the lid being a frequency device and the base being a molecular hydrogen device are combining into one device and creating one, but they're 2 separate things. So the molecular hydrogen that's coming out of the bottom is actually, it's very important that this is done right. So number 1, you have to make sure you have a device that is producing therapeutic levels of molecular hydrogen. It's extremely important that it's actually testing and producing the correct amount. Our device is certified, IHSA certified, to produce therapeutic levels of molecular hydrogen, but also to not leach any kind of chemicals. And so when you see this designed PEM in the plates, what you're looking at is a membrane that actually can make sure that all of the unwanted byproducts that come through the electrolysis process of creating molecular hydrogen. That's how the molecular hydrogen is created, actually get filtered out and not put into our water. And so when you see like a cheap bottle on Amazon and you're wondering, what is that? Why do I get it? Why don't I get it? The answer is, if you're looking to do something for your health, this is not an area where you take any shortcuts whatsoever, because if you do not have the correct filtration system, you are literally creating molecular hydrogen, if you're creating any at all, that is, and you are allowing all of the nasty stuff that you want out of your body to then be penetrated into your cells all day long, the complete opposite of what you're wanting to do. So a very hardy titanium and platinum coated PEM membrane is in our device, which is just extremely important. And then a dual chamber electrolysis reserve. And that reservoir is where those unwanted products can actually escape instead of getting into our water. We have stress tested this for 7 years. It comes with a 2-year warranty. Also very important. If something goes wrong in the device for 2 years, you can get a new device, a new part, whatever it is. We give full access to education platforms and an incredible amount of community support to back you in your bottle. You're not just buying something online, you're buying something direct from a company that is going to stand behind it. We manufacture every single part. It is designed and manufactured by us. So here are the different devices that we have. The green color you see was a limited edition, excuse me. So we don't have that right now. However, the gold and that dark platinum color. If you've got your phone off mute, if you wouldn't mind just muting the background noise, thank you so much. I can't see while I'm on the presentation to mute anyone. But those 2 colors on the outside are available at any time. And again, all of them, all the colors will have the same features, and they are 488 euros. This is a photo of our IHSA certificate, and this shows, like I talked about, that we meet all of the standards, and the certificate of compliance shows that we do not have all of those unwanted byproducts, as well as the therapeutic amounts. In order to get this certificate, all of that has to test positively. And you will find there are very, very, very few companies and devices on the market that have that. I still hear a little bit of background noise. If whoever's speaking could kindly mute, thank you so much. Sounds like someone's got something playing. Are you able to see them, Stephanie? Okay, great. Perfect. All right, so what is our purpose? Love that word, freedom. What does that mean? Well, we're here to light up the world so that everybody can create the ultimate human experience for our bodies. When we are not feeling 100% in our bodies, well, it's really hard to do a whole lot of anything, as you heard from Stephanie's story, where she was at a year ago to where she's at right now. And when we're financially in a bad place too, we're really not able to light up the world to our fullest potential. So there's a lot of different pieces that come into this idea of freedom. How are we going to do this? Well, we're creating the next evolution in technology and wellness combined. And how do we do that? Let's see. Here's a little bit of an idea of the life that we're creating, and it's based on co-creation. So we're not doing this by ourselves. We're working in partnership with LumiVitae. We're based out of Portugal. That is where our corporate office is. We are expanding globally. We are going to have a facility in the United States this year. And we are currently shipping to a ton of different countries, but it's going to grow even more and more, as you'll see in a future slide. It's also a co-creation with you. So it's not just a co-creation within the company, but it's a co-creation with every one of us and what we're looking to do and how much we're wanting to plug into this and share molecular hydrogen and this technology and hydration and really help people on a cellular level with this incredible technology. So we are creating communities to create a revolution. And this is unified affiliate marketing. So we're on a mission to light up the world, creating a future where the technology and the wellness can evolve together, guided by universal principles of nature. Here's a little bit of just an image on maybe some of the future platforms of, some people might be thinking, okay, so you have this device, what are you doing? Where are we going? Well, we are working on an education platform, a performance platform, a wellness platform, a beauty platform. All of these are things that are going to be incorporated as we continue to grow our company. I'll say right now that I'll show you on the next slide, but we are just getting started. So a lot of this is just kind of a brief overview of what's to come. So true shared abundance, what does that mean? Well, it means the company is taking 3% of all of the profits on all of our current, but also all of our future projects, and they're putting them back into pools that all of us are going to actually get to monetize, which is super exciting, especially when you see all the things that we're going to be doing. So where are we now and where are we going? Well, from November 7th, 2023, that's when we pre-launched. That's when our very first bottle ever got shipped anywhere. Okay, pre-launch. From then until now, we have now over 10,000 official affiliates. So we are doing amazing in this short amount of time. And by the end of the year this year, we are projected to have over 50,000 affiliates. So we pre-launched on phase 1 on that November 7th date. And then this last July, we launched. That was like our big party. We had an event in Miami, and we officially launched the company. We then surpassed $10 million in 2024. For those of you that know startups, that's a pretty impressive number for a new company. Most startups don't even get off the ground, and look what we did. So what about our second year? That's this, that's us, that's now. Where are we going? Well, we are going to 10x our growth in 2025 and do $100 million. How does that sound? You guys want to be a part of that? 100 million, baby. And ta-da, we are going to have the official launch of the USA in 2025. So even if you are on the Zoom and you're not in the USA, you may very well have contacts in the United States. And we are going on a road show. That means a party all over. And we need you there. It's going to be really exciting. The company is going to be, what does that mean, right? Like, are we already launched? Did we launch? Yes, we're launched in the sense that you can already purchase the bottles. You can make money. You can have customers. You can have partners. Yes. But have we launched in the sense of putting our resources into it and our efforts and actually went in, like hit the ground? No. 2025 in the US, that's going to be what we do, is we literally go around the country to the cities where we have holistic followings, big influences. I mean, it's going to start small, 1 city, 2 city, 3 city, 4 city. And by the end of the year, it's going to be every city. So this is definitely a time when a company goes through a launch and puts their resources into something where tons of momentum is created. And it's really exciting to be a part of. So this is just about to start. So collaborating with the best people, creating the best products, sourcing the best education, and designing the best platform to share your genius, we are going to light up the world. We've got just a couple of the people that are incredible team members. We've got Dr. Michelle Patrick, who is the head of education and crystal founder of LumiVitae. And then we've got Dr. Tyler LeBaron, who is often called the leading researcher and educator in the space of molecular hydrogen. He owns the nonprofit Molecular Hydrogen Institute, and he has been working very closely with us and very supportive of all things Lumi, current product as well as future. So in the future, you're going to see retail commercial products. You're going to see medical and wellness clinic products, a lot of education and training across the globe. And as we have started with our first product, a partner product and opportunity. The commercial products, which are going to be really exciting, will pay out through the lineage. So just like our partner products, you will see that through commercial products. And then the partner products, which we have only one at this moment, this bottle, but this is the first. Every single person needs to have one of these bottles. And for those of you that are with Lumi, I know you walk around with your bottle and take it everywhere you go. I know what this hydration is doing. I know what the stories are. This is always going to be that one product that every person needs to begin. And from there, you're going to see a whole suite of products to follow. So this is a beautiful photo just of our bottle. And with that, we're going to move right into the Q&A and answer any questions that you guys have. So let me stop the screen share. And pitch it to you, Stephanie.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Cindi. Oh, I'm excited. I am so excited. And like I sort of spoke to at the top of this presentation, this is a vehicle for my ascension out of this cancer story. I am so excited to be feeling good and to be able to show up as a servant leader that I know I'm here to be in the world and to share my story. And my story's a good one. But I've heard amazing stories of how molecular hydrogen, specifically LumiVitae's water, has helped people. And it's mind-blowing the breadth and depth to which folks can be helped by this. Even things unusual like anxiety and depression. I was like, what? So, if you Google molecular hydrogen on the internet, it's amazing what you'll pull up, specifically around cancer, but beyond. So I'm excited to be traveling the world and doing this business with Cindi and possibly you, if you decide to join us. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and just come off mute, or you can stick them in the chat and we will address them. Anyone? Or you can raise your hand. Nobody?
Hey, you guys, your friend Monica has a question. She's just raising, she must not know how to do the raise hand button.
Hey, Monica, you want to come off mute?
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. My question, not knowing anything about molecular hydrogen, I just want to know, like, compared to drinking 1 liter of water versus 1 liter of molecular hydrogen, what is the, you know, how can you explain the way that it hydrates you differently than just a typical, what we're all used to?
I'll let you answer that, Cindi.
Sure. I don't know of like a specific study that shows like a comparison, although there could be one. But what I could tell you is that when you're drinking regular water, it may or may not be absorbed into the cells, right? So oftentimes, like you drink a lot of water and then you find that you're going to the bathroom, it's because it's not typically getting absorbed. And so the difference is that with this, it is absorbed into the cells. And so it takes a whole lot less water to actually truly hydrate the body. And so there's a difference between like actual cellular absorption. And so one thing that I can also share as far as something that was done for testing, the bottle that had been stress tested for 7 years in Portugal in clinic had been tested with over 70,000 patients. And what they found is that of all the different modalities that were being used, the number one thing that made the biggest difference in the body was actually this and hydrating them. And so the clinic that was using our device had a lot of really, really healthy patients that just wanted the very best technology. And then also a lot of really sick patients that didn't necessarily know what to do with modern medicine and where they were at in their health journey. And across the board, when you would test your hydration levels, they were all dehydrated. They were chronically dehydrated. So what then would happen is that they would then take this device and they would use molecular hydrogen, and then they would retest their hydration levels, and their hydration would greatly improve. And so once the cells were hydrated, the terrain of the body was then more receptive to other modalities that they were potentially doing because the hydrated cells were able to receive information. So I don't know exactly what kind of numbers regular water would do. I also think a lot of it probably has to do with the quality of the water too. So for example, if you're drinking a tap water and it's got high yes, like it's probably creating more harm than good water. But there has not ever been another water outside of molecular hydrogen that hydrates the cells the way that molecular hydrogen does.
Okay. Great.
Great question.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. There is a part two to my story that I just feel is worthy of sharing with you all. So this past summer, I was driving with my mom in my little Fiat 500, and I probably was wearing a short sleeve shirt because it was the summer. And she goes, Steffi, she goes, look at your arms. And I'm like, what about them? She goes, your skin is beautiful. And I said, oh, I looked down at my arms and I'm, just admiring my own skin on my arms. Because there was a time shortly after I started the chemo that they were all scabby and it looked horrible, right? My skin looked horrible. Because we know skin is the largest detox organ of the body. And so the chemo was coming out of my skin. Anyhow, I'm looking down at my arms and all of a sudden I'm like, Mom, do you know what we're looking at? She goes, what? I said, we're looking at a hydrated body. That's when I started, everything started connecting in terms of the fact that I'd been drinking the molecular hydrogen every single day. And in the past, ladies, we're mostly ladies. I think there's one man here. I had like such scaly, dry, flaky skin. And I was sort of reveling in the fact that I didn't have that anymore. And I knew it was because I was drinking this water. And then my sister came over for dinner a few days later and she's like, what about your shins? Because it was the same thing. Like I'd pull off my yoga pants and the skin would go flying. The dried skin would go flying everywhere. Everyone, I thought, oh, it's just because I'm getting older, right? It's like, no, I was dehydrated. So I know that my skin is now beautiful at age 60. That's right. Because I'm doing this every single day. It is a self-care ritual that I do every single day without fail. Like I take it into restaurants. I will not drink tap water anymore. No more tap water. You guys, we are living in such toxic times. I can't trust tap water at all. I don't care how good people say the water is, like no, I'm just going to do my filtered water that is then infused with the molecular hydrogen. So I just wanted to make sure that you all got that part of my story too, because the cancer kind of takes over a little bit, but my skin, I'm just like, I'm blown away.
I'm laughing too because when you said that, my younger son, ever since drinking molecular hydrogen, and now when we go to restaurants and they offer him water, he's like, "Excuse me, is that tap water?" And usually just look at me. Hey, when you know better, you do better.
God bless him.
And
Olivia. Oh,
Stephanie,
yeah. Go ahead.
Stephanie, how much of the hydrogen water do you drink daily, on average?
It's probably about
Do you have an idea?
about 4 or 5 of these.
Okay.
So yeah, I just fill it up. I constantly fill it up. What I have to remember to do is to push the button. Because sometimes I fill it up, I'm like, wait, did I push the button? So you can't overdo it. Like if you don't remember if you push the button or not, I just do it again, So
Okay.
yeah. Olivia has her hand up. Hi, Olivia. Oh, we just need to unmute you, honey. Can you unmute yourself? Oh, I think you're unmuted. No, you're not. Can you unmute yourself on the Zoom, girl? It's in the lower left-hand corner where it says audio. Ask to unmute. Can I unmute her? Yeah, I think you have to unmute yourself. We still can't hear you. Come on now, and I know you've got that beautiful, sexy voice. She's a singer. We want to hear that voice. You can do this. Shoot.
Olivia, are you on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, because the unmute button only shows if you're not in the gallery view. So you have to swipe your screen to the right so that you would be only seeing the speaker on your screen, and then touch the screen and the audio or unmute button should come up and it's all the way left.
Thank you, Monica. It's different depending on which platform you're on.
Oh.
Olivia, if that isn't working, do you want to type your question in the chat for us and we can answer it this way?
Yeah. Anybody else while we're waiting for Olivia? I can just get on a call with you too, Olivia. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just get on a call. Well, I want to thank you all for joining us today. And if you are considering becoming a LumiVitae brand partner, I definitely want to talk with you. And if you just want the device for yourself, I have a link for you, and anyone else who invited you to this call, they have a link for you, and you can just go ahead and purchase. And we ship all over the world in a very broad way. There's a few countries that we don't ship to. We hope to be launching Mexico by the end of this year, which I'm very excited about. And but I've already had customers and brand partners who have received bottles in Australia and in Malta. And so, yeah, it's getting all over the place. So reach out for any follow-ups or any final questions that you might have. Yeah, we're very happy to have you be with us today, and we hope you'll join us in the molecular hydrogen revolution, baby. It's on. Thank you for your time, Cindi. Thank you, everyone, for being with us.
You're welcome. It's David asked how long would this bottle last, just to give you an answer to that. There are the previous bottles that are 7 to 8 years old are still working just fine. So there's a 2 full year warranty, but that doesn't mean that 5 to 10 years you won't still be able to use the same device.
Mhm.
Guys, I think I'm back. Can you hear me?
Oh, is that Olivia?
Yes, I'm back.
Woohoo!
I had to close my app and I had to go into my phone settings and unmute the Zoom. The Zoom thing was muted. It didn't have access to my microphone for whatever silly reason. So, hello, thank you for your patience.
I'm so glad we can hear you.
I am too. So I have a few questions. One, that presentation was amazing. You guys really had a beautiful way of sharing and describing, and you answered a lot of my questions just through the visual presentation. I love that it utilizes the toroidal field. It's like energy and all of that. That's really I've been really into all of that for quite some time in my spiritual practice. So but one of my dear friends, who I know is very well meaning, she's been a yogi and a spiritual healer for quite some time, and she knew that I was interested in molecular hydrogen, and she sent my husband and I each a bottle. And I don't know anything about it. This is the box that it came in. Can you see this?
Yeah.
It came from China. No markings on the box, no information. ROH. I am terrified to drink out of this thing because I don't know anything about it, and most of the instructions that came with it
Yeah.
do not explain anything. And it makes bubbles, but they're really tiny. And paperweight, Donna, exactly. I don't want to drink out of this because I don't want to risk my health. So I just wanted to say I am very interested in at least trying out this water. I don't know for myself that I'll get into the business aspect, at least not immediately, although I could see myself projectively getting
Yeah.
into that eventually. But for
Mhm.
our health, for my husband, for myself, for our son Zenon, who I know, Stephanie, that he had been diagnosed with Lyme disease last year, and we've been working through that holistically and with medicinals and all sorts of things. I really think this would be an amazing addition to his recovery and helping to heal his body, because he's still dealing with some inflammation and some other energy issues and sleep issues and various little things. So we'd really like to at least get a few bottles for our family, potentially some gifts for people as well. So that would be a place I would really be interested in getting some information. But my main question is, what is the best source, in your humble opinion, and Monica's as well? I'm sorry, Cindy's as well. What's the best initial source water to use to put into this device? We cannot use our tap water, and it is laden with chemicals and microplastics, and it's so hard that it corrodes all of our pipes, and we have to constantly change out our appliances. It's awful. We have not installed a home filtration system yet. We have been buying alkaline water, which is costing us a small fortune. I would really like to not keep drinking out of plastic bottles. So if you guys have any recommendations for, what clean water sources or, filtration or anything, anybody's welcome to message me or connect with me on Facebook. I'd really like to remedy that, so that whatever I'm drinking starts out clean and then
Yeah.
gets activated by the hydrogen. And I do have a Berkey. Michelle mentioned Berkey. I have a Berkey. However, the class action lawsuit against their water filtration, the inserts, was enough to freak me out. So I don't use that anymore. I would like to maybe find a filter I can still use with the Berkey. But I'm not comfortable buying the black Berkey filters and the fluoride filters anymore from that company because of that suit. But yeah, those are just some things I do want to work. I want to work on that, and I know that this would help with so many things. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm giddy. Yeah.
So great. These are both two really important topics. I just want to address the bottle that your friend sent to you.
Yeah.
So I God bless her. She was well-meaning.
I know. I love her for that.
I know, well-meaning, but I wouldn't drink out of that, and I don't recommend that you do. I did have a previous bottle before I got the LumiVitae bottle, and I don't drink out of that either. For some of the reasons that, Cindi explained, is that our parts, like we manufacture and distribute this product, okay? And that's very meaningful to me as a customer and as a brand partner. And so our inventor is a clinician. So he's going to make darn sure that the water that you're putting in is the water that you're getting out. So if you're putting in filtered water, you're not going to get any extra heavy metals into that water. All right. So it's enormously important. As someone who's taken months really to heal myself, well, more than months actually, to remove heavy metals out of my body. I don't want heavy metals coming back into my body, period. As for the type of water, I'm going to let Cindi address that because I know she gets this question all the time. Go for it, Cindi.
Yeah, my pleasure. Okay, so not alkaline water, despite the myth that alkaline water is actually a preferred water source. So the best thing that you could do is get water that is slightly acidic, below the 7 mark. And more importantly, the TDS being somewhere between 20 and 60, the total dissolved solids. So that's going to measure all of the inorganic material, the heavy metals, the kind of bad stuff that we don't want. Tap water is going to be very high, and bottled waters are going to be all across the board, right? Different companies, different sources. So I have this handy little tester that I purchased on Amazon for like 20-30 bucks. You stick it in the water and if the water has what the pH is of the water, as well as what the TDS is. One thing that's really interesting about our device is that the water that you put in it, and I saw some questions in the chat about could it use tap water? Absolutely not, because there's not a filtration system in our device, and the tap water will actually ruin the device. So what this is going to do is test the water that you are going to use in the device, and the Best case scenario would be to find a spring that has
Okay.
great water that tests like 20 to 60. There are springs. There's a website. I don't recall it right now, but I could try to get you the information. There's actually a website that tells you what springs are in your area if you want to get like a
Findaspring.com.
there you go. Perfect. You can actually get deliveries from a spring. If not, I will, and I don't love the idea of plastic, but at times I will buy like the big ones from Trader Joe's, not the, and the gallon ones, and then use that because there are some really good spring waters that test really well. There are less here in America than there are in the UK. All over Europe, they seem to have all these amazing water sources that we don't have yet. Something else that we are working on here at Lumi for the future. But yes, you can use a home filtration system. You just don't want to use any sort of tap water, mostly because the TDS I've tested with my same one. I'm like, oh, I wonder what my tap water is. And it's like 700, which is just basically like drinking toxic water. So that's why we don't want to drink it. That's why we don't want to put it in our device. And there are ways to make sure, and we are keeping our device clean from even just the regular buildup that comes in over time, because we cannot ever wash with any kind of soap or tap water this bottle. So we're keeping, this is like, it's like our iPhone, but for our health. So we keep it like really, really clean all the time. Really quickly to touch on the whole idea of alkalinity. The alkalinity would not hurt the device, but studies have shown that when you look at people that are drinking alkaline water, they tend to be a lot less healthy than you would think based on the hype around alkaline water. So the idea of us wanting to not have acidic bodies sort of created this whole marketing idea that now we need to have alkaline water, and they are not the same. Because if the gut doesn't remain acidic, the gut can't do its job to actually prevent things like leaky gut and to actually protect the body. So the studies have shown that the more acidic the water is, if we can, and it's actually hard to find acidic water, but like if you can find a water that's 5, 6, or just slightly below neutral at 7, then it's actually better. However, if you have water that's an 8, it will not harm the bottle. It's just giving you the answer of like, what is the optimal one is. If you found a spring that had a pH of 6.5 and a TDS of 50, your money. TDS below 100, ideally 20 to 60. But if you start testing it and it's like 200 TDS, too much.
Okay, I really, really appreciate all of that. And it's interesting. I've been growing medicinal cannabis for about a year now, so I am very familiar with pH and testing total dissolved solids. I do it every day to make sure that my plants are getting the correct nutrition. And here I am, not even thinking about myself in that testing. So thank you for that. There's so much, mixed controversy around the alkalinity, and cancer can't live in an alkaline body. I hear that all the time from all sorts of things. And so I just assumed that was the best thing, and it makes a lot of sense. If the stomach is not acidic, it can't break things down, and I have had digestive issues for years, so it doesn't seem to be correcting that. As far as the spring goes, a good friend of ours who's been sort of our spiritual healer, yoga instructor, he's been getting stuff from a spring for the past 20 something years of his life that's not far from here, and he's thriving and doing well, and this water tastes good. Every time we visit him, we drink the water, and I think I'm just going to have to go collect it and test it for myself and see if that might be the ticket right there. So thank you so much for bringing that up, for all of your amazing information. I'm really giddy to get on board and try this out and share with my family and friends. So it's awesome. Thank you so much. And Stephanie as well for hosting.
Thank you, Olivia. Big love to you, girl.
Big love to you. I'm going to pop off, but we'll connect very soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, much love.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, there we are. And I think the question was answered for David in the chat here, but he wondered if there were going to be any larger, will there be any larger devices coming out with Lumi to do more than the apps, than what we currently have, Cindi? I think the answer to that is yes, correct?
Okay, a generic yes is coming. I don't have anything announced yet, but we'll just go.
Watch this space.
Let's do a theater near you.
Yeah, so any other questions before we jump?
Any new colors? I hope so. I don't know anything right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Great. Well, Monica, feel free to stay on if you want to just chat a little bit more, but I'll stop the
Okay.
recording right now. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Stop the recording.